Hey, good morning, class. We're on week 8, day 2, Tuesday, October 13th, period 5, ELD 3. So today our video class is actually going to be a video. The good thing is you'll be able to look back at the video at the instructions on how to do the work. So maybe the not so good thing is that we're not going to be live, but I will be available via Teams throughout our period. So if you have a question or need some help, you can send me a chat via Teams, and I will try my very best to go ahead and answer your questions. Still having some technical difficulties, so this is how our class is going to run today. So I wanted to remind you, as always, Mondays are always Quindu and No Red Ink. You have about 2 or 3 assignments in Quindu and in No Red Ink that you should be doing every Monday for period 5. And I know that you only have half an hour, but that's about just enough time to work on the assignments that are in there. So if you have not done so, you need to please go ahead and get caught up on that. So today we're going to go ahead and be in our modules. You're probably going to work the beginning of the class. You're going to be here in Canvas. Then you will have some work to complete for your vocabulary rater in your team's notebook. And don't worry, I'll review everything that you're going to do today. So here's your student view. Once you get into our class, you are going to go to modules. And once you are in modules, I hope everybody remembers, we are on module 4, which I have not published yet. So let me go back and publish it. And then we will continue, which I thought I had. So, module 4, and it is also society and culture, okay? And one of the things that I want to remind you is that for module 4, we already started our launch section, okay? So this is what we had last Thursday. You were supposed to watch this video, and you were supposed to list 4 to 6 powerful words from the video. It's right. The assignment is right here, week 7, mod 4 launch. Okay. We did our grammar workshop last week, and these were the grammar worksheets that we went through as a class. And then in your team's notebook, you actually had your grammar practice book that you were supposed to go ahead and complete. And that is in our general channel. You come up to your class notebook, see where it says grammar you go ahead and you go to your grammar. And it's actually in your interactive practice book. So when you come to grammar workshop section, okay, so when you're in your class notebook, you go to grammar workshop section, you click on that, it says week 7 grammar workshop, and you click on that document. Here's where you have your grammar sheets that you were supposed to complete. And these I'm grading here. You don't do anything on Canvas. I will just put your points in Canvas. And remember, the way you do these is you go ahead and you go to the draw, and you can pick on the pen, and you can use your pen, and you can write here. You have the eraser to erase, but you can write your answers right on this sheet, okay? If it's so hard for you to write, you can always insert. You're still in the draw section, but you click on this little type, And what it will do is it will give you a little box. And then in this box, you type your answers. But you have to make sure that you put your box next to the section that you're working on. So if this is your section, you go ahead and you click on this little type, then you would put A, then you would put number 1, and you would put the answer to whatever your answer is for number 1. Then you would do number 2. When you get to section B, you have to make another box. And you make the box just by clicking. Then you would put section B, and then in section B, you have number 5. So then you would go 5, and then you would type in your answer for number 5. Okay. So please don't forget that this is an ongoing assignment that you have that is in your notebook, and it is in your grammar workshop section of your notebook. Okay. Now, that was last week's work. Okay. So this week you are starting class with step 3 of launch in module 4. And one of the things that I need you to do is I need you to start incorporating your vocabulary into your speaking and into your writing. So far, we've already practiced our vocabulary in Quizlet. You can always go back to the Quizlet link that we have and practice the vocabulary that you have there. Now for today, we are starting to connect more to our essential question because we're reaching the end of our unit. And our 2 essential questions, you have them right here. What is the impact of my actions on my community and world? And the other one is what influences a person's choice. So today you're going to start class by answering one of these 2 questions in the bottom. You can choose whichever one you want. First question is, how does the video connect to our essential question? And I am talking about this video that you saw last week here. Okay, so I want you, if you need to, watch the video again. Okay, and then if you don't like that question, you can answer the one in the bottom. It says, according to the video, what influences choice for young people? So both of these questions have to do with the video that we saw last week. Again, if you have to watch the video, just go up, click on the video, and watch it again. The way you're going to answer these are orally. So you're going to click here where it says answer here in red and yellow. Once you click on that, you're going to go ahead and see the directions again. This is an assignment that is graded. Okay. You will have a record media button in the bottom after you click on your blue submit button that comes up. And you just simply tell me the question and answer it. I need you to be sure that you're looking at your directions that you have up here. It says choose a question to answer from the 2 choices below. Be ready to share your answer orally with your teacher. Click on the link below, read your question, and answer it in a recording. Now look here in red. Be sure to speak clearly and use vocabulary words whenever possible in your answer and complete sentences. Your response should have 4 to 6 complete sentences in it. So that's the criteria. That's how I'm going to grade you. I'm going to listen for 4 to 6 sentences. I'm going to listen to see if you could incorporate any of the vocabulary that we've reviewed in class into your answer. Please remember, I showed you already where the video is. It is in the launch section. Okay? This should take you about 10 minutes. It's just a speaking exercise. It's not, it's all your opinion. There's no right or wrong answer other than you do have to use the information from the video. Okay? So this is just about a 10-minute intro just to connect you to the essential questions to start to get you to think about what influences a person's choice. Now, when you're done with this, you're going to go back to the modules, and we're actually moving on to the next section of our module 4. So that's finishing up the launch section. Okay, now we're going to start our explore section today on week 8. day 2, Tuesday. Now, first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and complete step 1. And step 1 is this vocabulary workshop that we're going to do right now in this video. We're going to be reading a story titled Thank You, Ma'am. And in this story, it has 2 main characters. One is a male, one is a female. Both characters make very important decisions during one event. And your job when you listen to this story is to choose and be able to describe an event and what decisions were made in the event, who was mostly impacted by the decisions that were made in that particular event. This is a listening exercise because the story is oral, so you're going to listen to the story. You can listen to the story as many times as you want, but I do need you to, when you're listening to the story, think about the characters, think about the events, think about what decisions the characters made. How did those decisions impact the character and those around the character? Okay. Now, before you start that, we're going to go over the vocabulary. These are 8 new vocabulary words. These are also on the Quizlet that you worked on last week. The words themselves, you'll have this page here on your canvas that you can use. Okay, the first word is circumstances. And circumstances describe a situation a person is in. Okay. So what is happening during an event that impacts the person. Those are the circumstances. Word number 2 is commit. A person who commits a crime is the one who carries it out. So commit is actually to do something. Something you do is something you commit. Okay, it's very different than, I commit to eating healthy. Kind of like a goal. This is the action of committing. It's a verb. So you want to make sure that you use this word correctly. Consequence. A consequence is something that happens as a result of another action. So let's say that you stay up all night playing your video games and you don't go to bed until 3 o'clock in the morning. And what is a consequence to that? You can't get up, so you sleep in and you miss first, second, and third period. Right? The consequences to staying up all night is not being able to wake up and missing your first 3 periods. Contact. Okay, contact. Please go ahead and make sure that you're looking at the part of speech when you're reviewing your words. That's a noun. When you are in contact with people or things, you connect with them in the same way. I am still in contact with my friends from first grade. So remember, it's not a verb, it's the actual idea of being connected to someone. Empathy, that's also a noun. When you have empathy for people, you feel like you understand their problems. So maybe you can relate to their problems. Maybe something has happened to you that is very similar to that other person, so you can have empathy for that person. Our next word is juvenile. Juvenile talks about a young person, okay? Could be an adjective and it can also be a noun because juvenile can describe a person or juvenile can be the noun of a person, for example, a teenager. So I want you to remember that this word will be using it in both contexts, as an adjective and actually also as a noun. Maturity, that's also a noun, is when people reach maturity, they are fully developed and have all the abilities of an adult. So this is a noun. Remember, you can't use it as a verb, okay? And you can't use it as an adjective the way it's down, the way it is here, maturity. And that is what our vocabulary word is. That's the word that you're going to try to practice to use in your writing and in your speaking responses. Our last word is salvage, and it is a verb, okay? To salvage is to save someone or something from destruction. Very